This is a lecture from Open Tuition. For the free slides that go with this podcast, please visit opentuition.com.
A personal development plan is a clear developmental action plan for an individual. Usually this will incorporate a wide set of ambitions. It may require formal training, or it may require informal training, such as simply getting the correct work experience. The aim of action plans for individuals is first to improve your performance in your existing job. Secondly, you'll be seeking to improve your skills and competences in future jobs or in future steps in your current career. It's important to try to acquire transferable skills. A transferable skill increases your employability and will increase the chance that you'll be able to arrange a change in career direction if you want to. And finally, and importantly, there's personal growth. We all want to move towards jobs and occupations that we're interested in, that we feel is worthwhile and is rewarding. However, you need to set a plan. There's no point just having vague wishes, and the word smarter can help you set a proper action plan. You should set specific plans. In other words, something specific like perhaps learning Spanish. You can't simply say, I want to be better at my job. However, simply saying learning Spanish isn't good enough. It's not quite saying to what standard we're going to learn it. So we have to be even more specific and set a standard. So perhaps we align our progress with standard examinations, and then we can measure how we're getting on. We have to agree the plan with ourselves, certainly with our teachers, perhaps with our superiors, so that everyone is behind the plan. It must be realistic. There's no point in setting an ambition that would, for example, say we're going to be like a native Spanish speaker within a year. Almost certainly we're going to fail, and that's deeply demotivating. It has to be time-bound. In other words, we're going to say how we're going to get on by 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. We have to measure how we've got on. We have to evaluate how we've got on, and then we have to review our plan. Perhaps it's been too ambitious. Perhaps it's not been ambitious enough. Remember, if a plan is not reviewed, it is likely to become irrelevant and to become ignored, and really we're wasting our time. Time management is an important skill in the workplace. It starts by setting goals which are SMART: specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, time-bound. These overall goals can then be broken down into specific action plans. Perhaps a to-do list, a list of things you're going to do that day or that week, deadlines put into your diary. You have to prioritize results and tasks, and this has to be kept flexible. What do we really have to do today? What could we perhaps postpone to tomorrow if there's a problem? Remember that there's a difference between what is important and what is urgent. Important tasks have to be done, but they don't necessarily have to be done today. Urgent tasks really ought to be done today, but if they're not done, the world isn't going to end. By considering tasks which are important and tasks which are urgent, we can prioritize what we have to do. Certainly at the head of the list are those tasks which are both important and urgent. Part of prioritization is to sequence tasks, but also the sequencing of tasks has a logic associated with it. There are some things that we simply can't do before other things have been accomplished. Coaching, mentoring, and counseling are important aspects of many modern businesses. Coaching is a way of providing training. Instead of going to a formal course, you sit beside or are watched by or supervised by an experienced employee who helps you on your day-to-day tasks in a work environment. For example, the first day the coach is likely to be with you most of the time, but once you have learned the task to the coach's satisfaction, you'll be trusted to get on with it, although you're likely to be reviewed. Coaching is sometimes preferred to formal training because it is more likely to be very relevant to your job and your work situation. It's sometimes known as on-the-job training. A mentor isn't really someone who's training you in how to do your job. A mentor is like a friend at work, someone who looks after your interests. In particular, a mentor shouldn't be your boss. You should feel free to be able to approach your mentor with problems you're having at work, which could include problems with the relationship with your boss. There's a long-term relationship with your mentor, someone to whom you can go in times of difficulty. A counselor provides guidance, though much counseling is what's known as non-directional counseling. Providing guidance is not quite the same as giving advice. A counselor is unlikely to say, "I think you should do something." The counselor is more likely to say, "Well, you could do A or you could do B. What do you feel about those two options? Which do you prefer?" The aim of all of these is to increase productivity, efficiency, job satisfaction, and comfort levels within the organization.